What up, reader fam? Today I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I am planning to hit up and read this springtime. I didn't do the best job following my winter TBR, but honestly, what's new? I'm just really bad at sticking to the books that I plan on reading. Maybe I need to bring back the TBR challenge. Hashtag throwback. Does anybody even remember those days? I sure do. I mean, I cracked a freaking egg over my head. But anyway, I still enjoy making TBR videos. I think it's kind of fun to kind of get an idea as to what you're planning on reading. So without further ado, let me show you the books that I am planning to read this spring. First on my list is the Booksplosion Book of the Month, and this month we are working with Bloomsbury, and that is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I have been meaning to read this book for years now, and now I have a really good reason to actually read it, because I actually have to read this for the live show that will be happening at the end of the month. This series takes place in 2059, and it's kind of this fantasy series. We follow our main character, Paige Mahoney, who works in the criminal underworld of Scion, London. Paige's job is to look through the minds of people and to find out information that they have. I would really not be okay with somebody looking through my mind because they would just realize how freaking weird I am. One day Paige is just minding her own business, doing her thing, doing her day-to-day routine, and then she gets drugged and kidnapped. She finds herself imprisoned to this man, and so she must find a way to survive, but also escape. I've heard so many great things about this series, and I am ready to chow down on the words to take it all in and explore this story. It's also the first in a series. The third book comes out this month on March 7th called Song Rising, so if I enjoy this book, then I will dive into the second book and then the third book. Back to back to back. Who am I kidding though? I'm really bad at following through with series. Also, Samantha Shannon is a part of the anthology that I am also a part of called Because You Love to Hate Me, so it'll be really nice to like read some of her work before I see her piece in Because You Love to Hate Me. I'm not sure when our live show for the Bone season will be, but I will be sure to tweet it out and Instagram about it, so keep your eyes peeled for that date. Next up is one that was on my winter TBR that I still really want to read. I just haven't made time for it yet, and that is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. The third and final book, A Conjuring of Light, came out last month, and I have yet to read the second book, so I can't finish off the trilogy with the third book yet. I need to read this. I need to read this. Why haven't I read this? I feel like I've talked about this series enough on my channel for you guys to know what it's all about, but for you newcomers, I'll give you a little speed description as to what the story is all about. Basically, we follow this guy named Kel, and he has the ability to jump between different alternate versions of London. He delivers messages between the different royals in the different Londons, and he also does some smuggling on the side, which is what gets him in trouble. That's kind of just the general idea as to what this series is all about, but obviously there is so much more to it. So if you want to learn more, I have a review of the first book, which I will leave a link to down below. Go check it out. Next up, I plan to read Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This book sounds like it has the potential to be a tearjerker, and I'm a little bit nervous about that, but I'm still looking forward to reading this one. This story follows a Chinese-American family living in the 1970s, and one day the favorite child, Lydia, is found dead in the bottom of a lake. And this just completely throws off the family. And I believe we just follow the family and the aftermath of Lydia's death and just everything that comes along with that. It sounds like it's gonna be really sad, but I've also just heard so many great things about this story, so I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Next up, I want to read A Separate Peace by John Knowles. I'm kind of trying to keep classics on my radar this year. Last month I read Their Eyes Were Watching God, and this month I'm planning to read A Separate Peace, so I'm just kind of like trying to throw some classics in the mix here and there. Obviously, I'm not gonna be one of those people that just only reads classics, but I definitely want to start introducing them into my reading life. So in the upcoming months, I would like to read this book. I have heard many mixed things about this book, but it sounds like something that I would enjoy, so I still want to try it out and see if it's something that I might enjoy. This story follows two boys who attend a boarding school during World War II, and something happens between the boys that changes them forever. I don't know what that thing is. I'll figure it out once I'll read this book, but it just sounds dramatic and mysterious, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And finally, the last book that I want to read is actually a reread, and that is The Miserable Mill by Lemony Snicket. I was supposed to read this as a part of my winter TBR, but I just never got to it. I actually kind of burned myself out with this series because I was rereading the first three books back to back to back, and it was just a lot to take in, and I was also watching the Netflix series, so I just got overwhelmed with A Series of Unfortunate Events. Obviously, I love this series, but there for a while it was just too much and I needed to take a break, so I took a break, and now I'm hoping to reread this book finally. And then I will finally be able to finish the Netflix series, which will be really nice because I've been wanting to watch the last 2 episodes, but I need to reread this before I do that, so it's gonna happen in the upcoming months. months, hopefully. Also, this is the book that I remember the least from, so I'm really looking forward to picking it up and finally remembering all that goes down in this book. So those are just a few of the books that I'm hoping to read in the upcoming months. Obviously, there are so many other books that I would like to read on top of that, but that's just a general idea of the books that I'm planning to read during the springtime. You guys let me know down below some of the books that you are planning to read in the upcoming months. I'd love to hear from you and to hear what you guys are going to be diving into. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos frequently on this channel, so if you want to be notified for when I post new videos, be sure and go and click subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.